Hi everyone, welcome to another EXOS at home in conjunction and partnership with Adidas Runners. I hope you've all had a great week and you're ready to do some work today. We're going to work through our movement competency and strength work today. Help prepare you again for being out on the trails through this trail running season and just to all round improve your running and your health for your ability to run for longer distances, stay healthy and improve your times. So as always, you want to ensure you've got a little bit of floor space here today so you can lay down, move forward, move back, move side to side, because we're going to work through all planes of motion. We're going to target those global movement themes. So as we worked on in previous weeks, going into flexion and internal rotation, extension, external rotation, those key patterns that drive successful human movement. And the only additional piece that you may need today is a chair. If you have your sofa, bed, that's good. I'll use one of my chairs, one of my dining room chairs, but something that you can elevate one leg onto. So that's all we need. So without any more chit chat, we're going to get going. And this is where we're going to begin down on the ground today. So we'll start on the ground, gradually work our way up. So we work through our movement preparation, laying down, bring one knee up actively towards your head, and then take that leg across your body to the floor, pulling the bottom leg towards your butt. I'll show you again from this side. So knee up, roll it across, grab the ankle on the bottom leg. Hold your thigh as well, so you've got some separation. Deep breath in, and as you breathe out, just going to roll, taking that top shoulder towards the ground. Breathe in, come back to a neutral position. Breathe out. We rotate a little. Take it easy. This is the first movement that you've done today on our session. So I don't want you to go forcing any positions. Don't pull those thighs apart too tight. We're going to get 5 reps. I just want you to work within your own range. So we're just moving. We've got flexion on the top leg, extension on the bottom, and we're driving some rotation through the upper body. When you've done 5, roll back to your back and repeat the other side. Knee up, then across. Grab your ankle and your thigh. Same movement. Breathe out. Roll, taking that top shoulder towards the ground. Deep breath in. Exhale into your rotation. 5 reps. This will definitely help you identify your limitations, your opportunities for improvement with any of those key movement patterns. Next, we're going to come towards our front. I want us to sit in this 90-90 position, a shin box position. Try and keep the midline of your body central, so not leaning across too much one way. In order to do that, you may need to shorten the angle at the knee so you can sit in this more upright position. Chest up. To initiate the movement, push your butt back, which takes you into this bow forward. When you're in that bow forward position, I'm just going to walk my hands around that front leg. I'm going to hold there for 2 seconds. And I'm going to thread the needle under one arm. Reach as far as I can. And then lift and open up. Show you front on. We're going to get 5 reps. So I'm walked around. Thread the needle as far as you can. Up. And rotate. So I'm rotating again both ways. Depends on where you have your limitations again, where you feel this. So from the front, Hands walk around, thread, and rotate. When you've done 5, just want you to lay that back elbow down. So now I'm in sort of semi-side lying position. We're going to do the same thing. Thread under, so I'm in this lower position. Taking the top shoulder towards the ground. And I'm going to come over the other way. So I'm opening more towards the internal rotation on this back side. Thread. And open. Again, 5 times. So not too dissimilar pattern to where we started with the pretzel stretch, but we're just changing the angles a little. Work internal rotation on that back hip. Switch sides, and we'll do the same thing. So we'll start in the shin box, bow forward, walk your hands around. Just hold for a couple of seconds, get your right position, and then we're going to thread. And open. So I'm working on the front side in this first set. And then once you've done your 5, take it down to your elbow. Same pattern. Thread and reach through. Open up into that back hip. So we really want to work in to feel a little bit of a stretch in that hip flexor region on that back side. When you've done your 5, we'll stand it up. We're going to go to our chair. So you got your chair, your sofa, whatever you decide to use. This is where we go next. So you're going to go front foot elevated. Back leg, back foot stays flat on the ground. I'm just going to lean in like I would do on a hip flexor stretch. Tucking my tail, shifting my body weight towards that front leg. Reach across that raised leg, arm up, and then as you breathe out, just coming in to some rotation. Deep breath in and out. Maybe you can go a little further. Bring it back, switch sides. So just that 1 rep, weight shift in. Maybe you're limited or tight, you feel it in your hip flexor, your calf, reaching across, up, and breathe out, rotate. Breathe out. Can you rotate a little further? Back to the other side. We're going to do this just twice each side. Small alterations, moving between those positions. The focus is to rotate as much as you can, but keeping that full extension on the back side. Remember, tail tucked. So we're hitting positions first. We'll gradually move then into patterns. You can lose the chair for the time being. We're going to go down into a half kneeling position. So if you want and need to take a cushion, go ahead and do that now. We're going to go down to the ground, close to the wall. The wall is going to be a good guide. Don't worry if you cannot get close to the wall. The front leg is the leg that's closest to the wall. That's the way we are going to rotate. So starting with the arms out in front, actually leaning your position into the wall if you have one there to use. Deep breath in as you breathe out. Inside arm sweeps up and over. You try to get 180 degrees almost flat to that wall. Bring it back in front. As always, I keep repeating, tuck the tail under. So we're in a hip flexor stretch as well. We're going to do 5 of these. So now we're starting to get more dynamic. We are starting to work patterns a little bit more. But we're isolating those patterns. And then you can switch once you've done your 5. Same thing, half kneeling position. Tuck that tail under. The inside arm up to the top. And then rotate. Working close to the wall. Breathe out as you rotate over the top. Good job. When you've done 5 each side, we can come back up onto our feet. Let's start to get more dynamic now through the lower body. So we're just going to work on a 3-weight lunge series, starting with a step back. So I reverse my lunge, tail tucked, reach up to the sky, and add a sway towards that front leg. Then step over and forward. Similar to where I was on the chair, I reach across my leg, and I'm going to open, rotate as much as I can. Back to the middle, to the top, out to the side. Step out, thread the needle across that top thigh, and pull or open into rotation. Back to the middle, repeat the other leg. Step back, tail tucked, reach, and sway. Step it forward, across, pull open your rotation, middle, side. Feet stay flat, thread, rotate a little bit more. Go at your own speed. We've done 1 each side. We're going to keep this moving until we've done 5 on each side. So we're getting good volume on this now. So this is going to start to raise your heart rate a little bit. So although we're working strength, movement competency, what we're actually doing here is using almost like a mobility circuit, but I wouldn't even call it mobility. Yes, we are addressing the issue of positions and patterns that are going to improve your movement competency, but it's that low level, high amplitude and high effect of training that you're going to receive. So movement patterns, volume based, not intensity based. Just doing the right things, the simple things, and doing them really well. Three points, reverse with sway, forward with rotation, and lateral with rotation. 5 each side. Always in that lunge position, repeatedly enforcing, tucking your tail under. So we have that nice neutral lumbar spine. We're not cheating any range, shoulder or back. We don't want any problems there. Feel your body temperature heating up a little bit as you go through this. Respiratory rate, your breathing might elevate slightly as well until you've done your 5 reps. So just give you that opportunity to finish up your 5 reps on each side. Make sure you're hydrating as you go through the session as well. And we go to our next movement. So we're going to get into our ready position, our base position, as we have learned in previous weeks. So get comfortable, chin tucked down. So common in this ready position as well is to crook the neck up. The neck, the head are an extension of your spine. Center of mass, so around between your belly button and your sternum, over the middle, your base of support, which is midline of your feet. So you shouldn't be shifted forward onto your toes, nor back onto your heels. It's that mid-foot weight bearing. When you've got that neutral position, shift across to your left side. The right leg that is now less weight bearing, we're going to reach and tap back at a 45-degree angle without changing the position of your spine. Back in. 45-degree back, so I'm stabilizing on my left leg. And now I'm adding my arm action in there as well. Do it slow, do it 5 times. Then come back to neutral. You see what I mean? Simple things, not a complicated movement, but through 5 reps, start to feel something happening in your quads. Even though your quad muscles, or maybe your glutes here, are taking the burn, and we're repeating on the other side, what we're doing is working. Think of what's happening. Flexion with internal rotation. So I'm working on that feeding in pattern. Repeat. We're going to do 3 times on each side. So I say flexion with internal rotation. I'm rotating into my flexion. Feed in mechanism or load mechanism is what we're focused on here. 45-degree behind, stable. Shift, 45 degrees. On my 3rd round to my left. So this is what I want you to get, 3 each side. So again, it's just a duration of time that we're actually working through this pattern for, not using any kind of intensity in terms of external load or high volume reps. I'm just thinking about the time under tension, the time I'm spending controlled in each position. Return to your ready position and then stand up and shake it off. If you've got a little burn there in your quads, your thighs, totally normal. Kind of what I want you to feel. If you didn't, when you do that again, another time, you can up the reps. So instead of doing 5 each side, go up to 8 or 10, or just move a little slower. My preference would be for you to move a little bit slower, focus on the control of that position. Next, same sort of position, base, shift to the left, take that knee and pull it high and tight towards your chest. Extend back, so I'm going to push my heel through a wall behind me. So I'm in my T stance. If you need to put your arms out, aeroplane, that's great. Then you're going to reach and thread across that stance leg, pointing and reaching about 1 meter outside your foot. From here, a little bit more rapidly, boom, fire back up into that knee hug. Can we maintain our balance? Repeat this 5 reps. Reach, get that little pause. So I'm working flexion, internal rotation. And then as I drive out, pop, I'm reversing that movement. Extension on the back hip with external rotation. Reach, feed in, load, come out, feed out, explode. Long, not low, rotate, feed in and load, boom, feed out and explode. In 5 reps with no external load, we may and should hopefully start to feel the glutes doing their job. Actually working, getting a little bit of a fire lit beneath them. Same on the other side. Always start in that base position. So you get your center of mass and your base of support right. Shift, knee, high hug. Long into your inverted hamstring, your T stance. Reach that point, feed in, load, and explode. Try and hold each position at the extreme ends for a second or two. Make sure we can own our full range. And that's our key. Even when we talk about mobility, but movement competency, to have full control over your range of motion. Load and explode. Feed in, feed out. Feeding in, feeding out. Exaggerating that pattern. Shake it off again. We're doing good. If you need to take a drink, do so. Take a small break. We got 1 more movement to wrap it up today. Similar to where we were with our 3-way lunge, now we're going to go more like a pendulum. So I'm just going backwards and forwards off 1 stationary leg, which I'm going to start as my left side. Stepping back, reverse lunge. It's where you were earlier with the reach. Then as you step forward, long stride forward. I'll show you this way on. So I'm going deep into flexion. I want my thigh almost in my armpit. My back leg is long, and I'm drawing this straight line, head to heel. And then like we just did on the inverted hamstring, I'm going to reach across to that side before bringing it back and back to the middle. If you have difficulty doing it forward like this, with balance, or maybe you want to progress the intensity, unusual that the two come together, but we can actually go long on the back way. So that's going to give you more stability going into that long position. Reach across, and then from here where I'm in load, I can explode off that front leg into the forward lunge. Your call, which position is forward, which position is back. I'll let you take ownership of that and see what feels best. I'm going to add my intensity where I can load at the back and explode forward with that reach into a little hip flexor stretch. Load and explode. And get again that little hold in the end positions to take ownership of my range. 5 on each side, straight line drawn, tail tucked as always. Repeat then the other side. So remember, you can go either way. You can go back into your hip flexor and big step forward. The benefit of doing that is you actually have to control and decelerate your body into the load position. Or you can go load position on the back, so you can then work the explosive action, the concentric action out into the front position where you can hit the stretch. Again, your call. Good. Shake it off when you've done your 5. Just take a breather, take a drink. Lower intensity, higher amplitude. Amplitude of good quality control in your end range of movement. Think of it as an extension, as I said earlier, of a mobility circuit, but it's focusing on that movement competency. Getting strong in the right positions through the right patterns. That is how you are going to improve. It's not just about the intensity of the workload that you're doing. It's about doing those simple things really, really well. If you can move well and control your positions and your patterns in this controlled environment, you stand a much better chance of being able to do that on the road, in the gym, under higher intensities, higher impact. Research is unequivocal on that. You move well in a controlled gym-based environment, that is going to carry over to your performance. So we address the fundamentals, position and pattern. We can build that into our power and performance when we get out onto the surface that we're going to run on. Guys, thank you for joining me today. Hopefully, above all else, you learned something. You learned a new movement or a new way to take ownership of what you're doing. Hopefully, see you back here again soon for more EXOS and Adidas runners. Take care.